Channel quarters, all hands back at battle station.
Broadcasting live on WNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, iHeartRadio, and the World Wide Web. This is Make America Think Again with your Google Blacklisted host, Tom Trento.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
You are listening to the Trento Hour, and I am Susie. Today we have a great show, and we are on 1470 AM, 96.9 FM, and 95.3 FM. Today's show, we are focusing, as we do every morning from 9 to 10, on making America think again, as we are in a spiritual battle for America. Today's Friday. It is October 16th, and Tom, we have 17 days to the election.
17 days. Oh, my word. 17 days. 17 days.
That's right around the corner.
Right
we have a
the
lot
corner.
of work to do in
Everybody's
17
tired
days.
and all that, but we got to keep driving and driving and driving all the way through the 17 days. We'll
Yeah.
Cool.
And our show today, we have two attorneys on the show.
Two lawyers. We need lawyer jokes. We have any lawyer? Get your lawyer jokes ready. Two lawyers coming on. What's lower than a lawyer and the bottom of it?
We have Peter Feaman, who is the national committee man for the Republican National Party. And he is actually, I don't know if those are aware, Tom educated me today on that, is that, I mean, this is a very high position. It's a top
He's a good lawyer, too. He's a good
elective.
He's got a lot of good lawyer jokes, too. He's got a lot of good lawyer
He does have good lawyer jokes.
Yeah.
We got to ask him a good lawyer joke as soon as he comes on.
And as we do every morning, we have really prominent people, you know, and it's great to hear them and to hear really that we're all in this fight together, and really prominent, educated, knowledgeable, and just really good people, right? Fighting a good fight. And we also have John Stemberger on today.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal. Yeah.
He's a conservative policy advocate for over 30 years. So we have a great show lined up. And it's Friday. So culminating a very busy week.
We used to do Jumpin' Juma Freaky Fridays every Friday and deal with the religion of peace.
Well, we'll get back to that.
I think we may get back to it.
Especially with our guest host coming in.
Do we have who do we have coming in next week?
We have Imam Abdullah coming in.
Is he coming in? Imam Abdullah. Damon Rosen will be finally, after months of trying to get back from Israel, Damon Rosen will be here Monday in the control room. Driving Mark crazy, but bringing another element. Another
he's got
dimension.
a great personality.
Nice.
Everybody's going to like listening to him. He's
that's what you say now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know him as well
Wait
as
until
you
he gets
do,
here.
but I know what I know of him is he's a lot of fun.
You're gonna learn.
He's fun and
You'll
smart.
learn.
Yeah, smart guy and fun.
So ask me what's going on
He does
today.
impersonations.
Ask me what's
Yeah,
going
so
on.
tell me, Tom, what is going on today?
Today we got a big day. We have obviously the two lawyers, and the first one, Feaman. We're going to talk about the Hunter Biden situation and the Joe Biden situation. Peter has been doing a lot of work on that. And the second lawyer, Stemberger, our whole campaign of mobilizing Jews and Christians to vote intelligently, vote for Trump. John Stemberger, one of the leading evangelicals in the country. We're fortunate to have him here in Florida. He'll be on a little later. But right now, breaking news. Right now, we have.
I have it. I've loaded.
You got it? Okay. Right now, we have. I don't know. You know, Susie, because you've been with us. We are approved White House press pool media because of our large show here. And so we can get into any White House event in the country. We're not traveling out of the state, but we have we cover quite a bit of events. Today, there's an event going on in Ocala, Florida.
Yeah.
El Presidente. It's pretty cool when you can drive up to an event in a $4 billion airplane, roll out the stairs, have a rally, have tens of thousands of people, wave goodbye, get in your airplane and take off. That's pretty cool. And Ocala, what's that?
He's also showing up in Macon, Georgia today for a rally tonight.
This guy's the
He's
energetic.
making bacon in
Unbelievable.
Macon. Wow.
The energy of this man
It
is
is
incredible.
unbelievable. But in Ocala, that's 4 hours, 4 hours from here.
Yeah, it's north.
We have dispatched our top media team. We have a team of 4 individuals with press passes from United West, WNN 1470 at 9:09 in the morning. I believe they are on their way, and I believe now this is a sophisticated crew. I think they're all either Harvard or Yale graduates. I think they have multiple law degrees and political science degrees. So we got a team of experts.
Top notch.
They're going to cover the rally and then bring us back, very dispassionate, very calm.
Matter of fact.
Yeah, just matter of fact information. I think we have some video of our team actually traveling live right now.
Doing prep work. They're prep work.
They're doing their prep work. So let's look at and listen to our top-notch team headed to Ocala right this second.
It's like a circle. Everything you do comes back to you. Life is long. Sure enough to get you. Life is long. Sure enough to get you. All you miss the last payment. The finance company came and towed it away.
That's the prep work. Yeah.
That's their prep work.
I see they're working hard
working
to be
hard.
ready
we
for
do
this
have
event.
the cutest. We do have the
Yeah,
hottest.
we got the prettiest.
They
media
are
team there.
beautiful. They are beautiful.
That is none other than our Jexit ladies.
That's right.
They are headed covering the event for us. They really have. That's how they're going to work.
They are going to go.
Having fun doing what they love
That was
to do.
Siggy Flicker driving and on vocals there, and doing backup with Sophia and Karen in the back, and the camera work, excellent camera work done by Michelle Terrace. So I told them, I said, you're going to go in the media corral, and we're CNN. I said, you got to not drive everybody crazy.
And don't kill anyone.
Yeah, don't hurt anybody. And Jackson, don't get into fights. Okay, we like our media passes. So they are on their way. They're going to be reporting back. It's going to be a couple hours before they get there. But on Monday's show, we'll have reports on
I heard that Donald Trump Jr. was on in his boat wearing a Jexit hat.
He had a Jexit hat on. Yep. That's I think it was Eric. It was Eric.
Was it Eric?
Eric Trump. No, I mean, these ladies really are amazing. They are committed.
They might tackle Donald Trump and shove a Jexit hat on
You're
his
not
head.
kidding. You know?
They would do it too. Yeah.
I warned them that Trump will inevitably point to the corral, the media corral, because we've been in there when he's done this. Fake news. And everybody starts booing us. And we're going, wait a minute, we're the good guys. But you're not supposed to wear Trump stuff and all
They're
that.
They're going to be rolling their Trump towels all in the news.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Great personalities, and it's great that they do everything with fun. And at the end of the day, it's all to help our president with his re-election.
You're our Jewish representative on the show here. What's Jexit all about?
Yeah, so Jexit is an organization that Michelle Terrace started, and it really, typically Jewish people voted Democrat through the most recent history, and through multiple generations, that what the Democrats stood for was aligned with many of the Jewish values. However, as we have come to learn, and those Jews that realize that now the Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party of our parents or grandparents, so many Jews now have exited, and that's hence Jexit. Jews exiting the Democrat Party.
I love it.
And align with the party that truly speaks to the values that the Jewish people live by, and our Constitution, and how this country was founded. It was founded on Judeo-Christian principles, and that the Republican Party resonates with us more so than the other party. So the Jexit Party Michelle and her whole team have done a phenomenal job in getting the word out and educating Jews and others, on what it is that the Democrat Party today stands for, which is really Marxism and socialism. And so they do it in a fun way. They they envelop the crowd. They are incredibly energetic, knowledgeable, and truly are doing everything possible to ensure the reelection of Donald J. Trump. And they've done, the Jewish people now have woken up as a result of their efforts. And, we just need to do more. We have 17 days to do it. Move the Jewish community and the Christian community.
Absolutely. I'm going to move both communities. Tom Trento here with Susie Gold, 9:14 in the morning, East Coast time. Our folks, our friends out in California. We got a lot of people out in California, and we got a head floating up on the monitor there. We got a lot of people in California listening at 6:14 in the morning. We're about to bring on our first guest.
He's going to tell us a good lawyer joke.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
We'll give him a couple of minutes to think of a
No,
good
no,
lawyer.
he's got him. Our first guest, as we introduce you, think of a good lawyer joke. Today's lawyer day. You and Stemberger. Stemberger's following you. So we got to have some good lawyer jokes. Peter Feaman has a law firm. If you need a mouthpiece for anything, he's represented the United West when we were in a battle with the Marriott Hotel in Delray, who unilaterally canceled an event that we had with Geert Wilders, and we won that battle. He's represented me on different issues. So we'll do a commercial for Feaman Law. We'll do that.
Name a law firm.
But in his calling, though he makes money as a lawyer, his calling is communicating the truth of God in our culture. And he's done that in a political context for, I think, 8 or 10 years. He's been the national committee man. That's one man elected in 67 counties in Florida. That's a tough thing to do. Travels the state, and one woman. And he represents the state of Florida to the Republican National Committee. So he's a big dude here in the state of Florida, but very humble. So Peter Feaman, as you come on, you got to start with a lawyer joke. What do you got for us?
Well, good morning, Patriots. And actually, there is one lawyer joke that I like, and that's this. Why do they bury lawyers 20 feet under the ground after they die? And the answer to that is because deep down, they're good guys.
Okay, that's
a good joke.
That's a good lawyer joke. That's a good lawyer joke. I could Google lawyer jokes, but we don't have the time. We don't have the time to do lawyer jokes.
And it costs you $200
But that
an
was
hour.
a good one. I think that'll carry us through the day.
Yeah. Peter, we have you for about 10 minutes or so. I want to take a minute or two on the status of the race. You're hearing all kinds of stuff. Biden's ahead by 20 points in Florida. It's neck and neck. The status of the race. Then I want to get into what you wrote about yesterday, the situation with Joe Biden providing influence through his son to the Ukraine government, and if this is real, if it's nonsense, and what the implications are with 17 days left. So give us an update on the Trump-Biden race in the state of Florida, the most critical state in the union.
That 10 minutes is going to cost us $2,000, Tom. You realize that?
It is.
Billable hours.
Well, actually, the whole country does know that the road to the White House runs right through Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville. And so make no mistake, that's why the president's here. That's why the candidate for the Democrats is here. And we are once again ground zero in the most important election in the history of the United States. I used to say that's the most important election of our lifetime. Then I used to say it's the most important election in 160 years, because 160 years ago, we had Abraham Lincoln on the ballot, and we know how that turned out the right way. But no, if Donald Trump does not win this election, and that means carry the state of Florida, then the United States as we know it, as our parents have known it, as our grandparents have known it, and as our grandchildren will know it, will no longer exist. So it's that important. So where are we? Well, as usual, it's neck and neck. And it's going to depend on what you guys do in these next 2 weeks. As you know, early voting starts on Monday in Florida, and it is neck and neck. So it depends. I think we have to work like it's up to us, and we have to pray like it's up to God. And if we do that, we'll get the right outcome. And thanks for all that you guys do in getting out the vote, what I call the morality vote or the values vote, because it's the values voters that are going to make a difference in this election.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been for 2 years mobilizing that group, 1 million to 3 million of evangelical Christians that hesitate for whatever reasons. And we'll get into a lot of that with Stemberger later on today, folks. So you want to stay around. 9:19 in the morning. Tom Trento with Susie Gold here and Mark in the control room, Mary up north. WNN 1470 95.3. Peter, you wrote yesterday, and you seemed in your writing to be frustrated, aggravated over this Biden, Ukraine, Hunter Biden situation. Give us a quick overview and let's dive into it a little bit.
Yeah, this big tech, what I call big tech censorship of free speech, is the greatest threat to America and the concept of freedom of speech that this nation has ever seen. Because so many people now get their news from big corporate media and or big social media, which is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and they are intent on censoring the news that everyone hears. And if they're allowed to do this, we'll be no different than Argentina, or for that matter, a dictatorship. A republic depends on the free and fair dissemination of information, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, doesn't matter. But information and people's opinions and views must be allowed to get out. And when you censor that, when you stop that, then we cease being the United States of America and we become China, Argentina, Russia, North Korea, take your pick. But the light of America, which is known as a beacon of freedom for the entire world, will begin to grow dim. And if the light of America grows dim, the rest of the world becomes a very dark place. So that's why this is so important. And I think Congress, if it is controlled by the Republicans, they are going to take action to stop this and stop the monopoly that they have on this sort of thing, and stop their ability. The Congress has given them a free pass where they can't get sued. Well, that needs to end as well. They need to be on a playing field that everybody else is on as well. So, yeah, what big tech is doing is unbelievable. And on my Facebook page in the Backhoe Chronicles, by the way, thank you for reading that. I saw that you took a quote from Abraham Lincoln and read it the day before yesterday.
Yep.
Maybe it was yesterday.
Yesterday,
Great Lincoln quote that I posted there. So keep up the good work. But big tech has become the enemy of the people.
We lost
cut
him
out
now.
for a second.
Big tech has become the enemy of the people. And we need to be aware of what's happening so that we can fight it. This is serious. This is serious stuff. Everything. The big tech censorship, this election, how they want to fundamentally change America. Wow, I've never seen anything like this. We stand at the edge of an abyss, and we look over that edge, and what we see is destruction. Look at Portland, look at Seattle, look at all the big cities. We see defunding police departments instead of defending police departments. We look over that cliff and we go, wow, if we don't win this election, we will descend into that abyss, and we cannot let that happen. Or as I like to say over and over, we cannot let the light of America grow dim on our watch. All hands on deck. We have 2 weeks. Here we go. Let's go. Put your tray tables in the upright and locked position. Fasten your seat belts. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but we got to be ready for it.
All right, you
Wow,
sound like
that's
a
great.
flight attendant
Yeah.
on the USA Express. It's 9:23 in the morning.
Wow.
You're listening to Peter Feaman. He's an attorney in Palm Beach County, but he's also a national committeeman for the Republican National Committee. So he represents the state of Florida to the Republican National Committee every month, going back and forth, doing tremendous work for the last 8-10 years. And the issue in context at 9:23, Tom Trento, your host, Susie Gold here. The issue we're talking about is that some news broke about, and it really sounds like a Hollywood B, police movie that somebody wrote in their basement, the script. But the weight of the evidence is coming out each and every day that Hunter Biden brought his computer to a repair shop. He never picked it up. The guy took possession of it. The guy who's blind but has a monocle to look at what's going on. I mean, everything is very weird. Handed it over to the FBI, but also reserved the copy to give to Giuliani because he was a fan of Giuliani, protection for him. And it's a big story, whether it's totally true or not. I mean, the evidence points to the veracity of it. Peter's referring to the Silicon, the masters of the universe. Breitbart calls big tech the masters of the universe. These big companies shutting down the one of the writers of the New York Post that broke the story, not allowing that writer to tweet his own story out. They shut it down, and Jack Dorsey has miserably apologized for it. But quickly, Peter, we only got you for a couple of minutes. So problem number one, the censorship of big tech. Problem number two, what do you make out of the material elements of this Biden controversy?
And also the FBI. Don't forget about the FBI.
They sat on it.
They sat on it for. Isn't that a criminal?
It shows us again just how corrupt the swamp is in Washington, and that swamp includes what's been called the Iron Triangle, which is the deep staters, big corporate media, and the Democrat Party. And they form an iron triangle. They're not going to give up their power without a fight.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's what we're up against. The swamp is much deeper and worse than we ever imagined. We knew the Clintons were corrupt. Now we know the Bidens are corrupt. And now we realize the FBI was corrupt and the other highest echelons of government. So if we don't send Donald Trump back for another 4 years to continue to drain that swamp or try to drain that swamp, then the government of the people, by the people, and for the people will perish from this earth. I'm going to leave you with this, Tom. All of human history has shown us that it's about one thing and one thing alone, and that's a struggle for freedom. You can go back to Exodus with the Israelites fleeing their slavery in Egypt, and you look throughout history, it's always a struggle against freedom. You go to Thailand right now, they're struggling. You go to Hong Kong, they're struggling for freedom everywhere. Well, we, as the beacon of freedom in the world, we have a struggle for freedom right now, and that's this election on November 3rd. And every generation is called to fight in this struggle for freedom. You may not be wearing a uniform, I might not be, but we are frontline soldiers in this war for freedom.
Good point. Good point.
We must win on November 3rd because it's about freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of speech. We will lose all that if we do not win on November 3rd. So let's thank you for all you do. Let's get out there, fight the good fight. The time draws nigh. Now is the hour. This is the time. Let's do it.
All right.
Wow,
Peter
that was
Feaman.
really powerful.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, there's so much at stake this election, and everything that you contributed, Peter. This is more reason for us to stand up, and that we say, oh yeah, every election is the most important election, but for all the reasons that you addressed today and more, we know that the importance and the significance of Donald J. Trump representing us and cleaning up the swamp, and so we can get America back
He's the only
again.
one who could do it.
All right.
He's the only one who could do it.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, thank you very, very much. We'll catch up with you next week. We're going to meet with you weekly right up to the end here and make this thing happen. Landslide in Florida. You watch what's going to happen. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye,
Thank
Peter.
you so
Feaman.
much,
Thanks,
Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
All right, take care.
Great job.
Yeah.
So what do you
Wow,
think?
he's, I'm like, my hairs are standing up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, we're working on this every day, day in and day out. We hear so much negativity. Here you have so much corruption. When he says draining the swamp, we're talking about electing Donald J. Trump. We're also talking about ensuring that there's a Republican Congress.
Yeah,
people
that's
say,
critical.
well, what do they do anyway? And here it is that they can go up against big tech and make sure that we as the people get
Right.
information. We're not censored, so that we are being like put blindfolders on us, and we just say, oh, well, let them do their job. Well, we all need to be more involved with knowing what the issues are so we can contact our congressmen, contact our senators, know what the issues are, respond, speak up, speak out, because they work for us.
Yep.
We don't work for them. And, and I think Peter just said it so well. We're in a very difficult time, and we need to make sure that the representatives truly are representing us.
And the issue at hand, and this is very important for our listeners driving in their automobiles, and we're going to show you, if you're driving in your automobile, we're going to show you what we have up on I-95 in 3 different locations. We have access to some billboards, and we're going to show you one of them, and Mark's going to get it and put it up in a little bit. We'll show it to you. But what Peter is talking about with big text control, as the intranet, the interweb, as this thing started developing over the past 20, 30 years, a lot of it was games. You play games, Pong and this, whatever. Well, there was a mindset that anything on the internet is social. It's for social. It's for fun. It really doesn't have any legal weight or any media weight. It's games. Facebook is a game thing. You talk to your friends. Twitter, you send notes back and forth. As it has evolved, these different corporations have become gigantic media corporations with media influence. Historically, in this country, we have laws that regulate media outlets, newspapers, televisions, radio. There's 7 words we can't say by the FCC or we get in trouble, right? Certain things we can't do. We're regulated. Laws have been passed to have no regulation for what Twitter does or says or any of these things. It's section 230 in the code. You'll see it referred to 230. And right now, a lot of people, even on the Democrat side, are saying, wait a minute. Twitter is a media outlet. Facebook is a media outlet. They have that. They can shut down speech of a newspaper. They need to fall under the legal authority of some of the laws of the United States that pertain to media outlets. If that's true, then it provides for the citizen the ability to file lawsuits against them if they harm our rights, our First Amendment rights. Now, they shut us down whenever they want to.
Yeah.
We have no recourse. We go, hey, guys, screw you guys. So, we don't want people hearing your voice. You're shut down.
So we have to go to billboards like this one.
Yeah. And there's one of our billboards right now. That's up in Palm Beach. We have one in Broward and Dade. And my name happens to be on that. We had some folks put that together. This one has a picture of who? Who's on the left there?
Look at that, Bloomberg.
Mr. Pumpkinhead, that's what it is.
Mr. Bloomberg.
Bloomberg
Mr.
pumping
Pumpkinhead.
in a lot of bucks.
Read it, Susie, for the
voters.
audience.
Oh, so those that don't see this don't have the visual. Voters. This is a message to voters as they drive by, and this is in a great location right off of 6th, right?
Yeah, this is right, 6th
right off
Avenue.
the 6th, off of I-95. Will you let my $100 million buy Florida for Biden? And, that's meaning that's Bloomberg's money that he's pumping into Florida. As we know, he gave monies to felons to pay off their debt because you can't vote if you were a felon and have debt to the government. So he paid off their debt so that then they could vote. And he thinks that they're going to vote for Biden. So it's like, quid pro quo, I'll give you this if you vote for Biden. He's buying those votes. So, and pumping in just millions and millions to commercials, to other billboards, and they're just all over the place because, and as we heard from Peter Feaman, is that, the road to the White House is through Florida. So, that's why this state is truly where the war is beginning. For the Democrats, and you know what, we got this.
Yeah,
we got
this
this because the Floridians are smart people, and they know that they can't be bought by that money.
Well, Peter Feaman, a little earlier, 9:33 in the morning. Tom Trento, your host, with Susie Gold here, Mark and Mary, got the whole team. Peter Feaman, a bit earlier, said that the road to the White House goes through, and he named our 3 counties, and then he said Orlando and up to Jacksonville. Well, we got right now with us.
We got the man in Orlando.
We got the man in Orlando, the guy who is responsible for the I-4 cart, the guy who is responsible for the whole state of Florida, our dear friend. Hey, John, we had Peter Feaman do a lawyer joke to start. So we're going to need you to do a lawyer joke.
We're rating you. We're comparing your lawyer, Jess. We're going
to rate it.
This is one of the leading evangelicals in the state.
Wouldn't it be funny if he told the same joke?
If he told the same joke.
And charged us for it.
Maybe he heard it.
Our next lawyer on Lawyer Day here, our next lawyer has been a leading evangelical in the state for 30 years. Florida Family Policy Council is an organization that he leads, doing amazing work. He's a lawyer. If you need a lawyer in Orlando, he's a lawyer in Orlando. He's been very involved in Washington, D.C. He's got all kinds of awards. We knew him for many years, and then we had a little situation with a young lady,
Rivka. That's right.
Rivka Barry,
and
and she needed representation, and we said, we got the guy. We got the guy for you, and that's a whole. That's a movie.
That's
That's
a
movie.
story unto
Yep.
itself.
But right now, with 17 days left, John, as you may know, we've been mobilizing evangelicals, 1,000,001 for 2 years. We're coming down to the wire. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our dear friend, John Stemberger. All right.
Tom, it's great to be with you. Great to be with you with great apologies. The last time I was scheduled to be on, I pulled an all-nighter and went to bed at like 5:30 and thought, okay, I have some time to sleep. Didn't realize I had your show. And so with great apologies, I appear today and thank you for your understanding.
No problem.
Glad
You got a
have
lawyer
you.
joke?
Was that a
first to
joke?
start
Was that a
off, or-
joke or what?
It wasn't a joke. I have some joke about lawyers and doctors and skid marks, the difference between the two or something like that. I forgot how it goes though.
Tell us.
It's a
Tell us.
Biden lawyer joke.
Yeah, right. Tell us what's going on in the state of Florida politically, but then give us an understanding, insight into the evangelical movement and response in the state.
Yeah, so great question. A lot to be said there. To me, I think the thing that's going to tip it over for the president and for conservative values is the rioting and the literally the breakdown in the social disorder. I think that the visceral response of people, even though they don't want to say it out loud, is they're going to pull the lever for the right person. And I think that kind of widespread disorder, which is still going on, by the way, in many cities, as you know, but the media is not reporting on it right now. I think that's going to make the difference because, look, Trump is a bodyguard. He literally is standing between us and the mob. And irrespective of what you think about his mannerisms and all that, that's kind of the bottom line. When society comes to a place of complete disorder and it becomes a mob, people say, we want a strong arm, right? And Trump is the strong arm. And so I think that's what's going to happen. I think that the church is in a variety of places. We realized months ago, Tom, our normal mode of operation is severely compromised because of COVID. Normally the church is gathering. There's many churches that aren't gathering at all, a significant percentage. And those that are gathering are only gathering at a fraction. So what good is a paper voter guide if there's no people to distribute it? So we did 8,000 packets to 8,000 churches with special tools that pastors can use, everything from robocalls to emails to text messaging technology. We gave them memes, we gave them videos. It was a packet with 10 pages of tools that they can appropriate online. We've been doing that. We're doing ads through Christian television. It's called our Honoring God campaign. We're very simply asking people to honor God by just getting out the vote. This weekend is we're asking pastors to send their parishioners to vote. Early voting. Monday's the first day of early voting. And so we're asking everybody to do that. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to mobilize the church. We believe that to be the true base of America, the true base of the party, and the true base for the president. And so that's our aim right now.
Hey, John, I read an article, a woman, a pro-life leader in the Midwest who, after tremendous self-reflection, still a diehard pro-lifer, had to conclude she cannot vote for Donald Trump because of his attitude, his mannerisms, and all that stuff. we're finding a lot of that. We're finding many Christians use that. How do you respond to somebody like that?
Well, I can understand and appreciate that because, to believe it or not, I was an open opponent of our president in the primary last time. But here's the thing. I thought that he would pick Rudy Giuliani and Chris Christie. I thought he would go with the left wing of the party. He would pick the Rhino lineups, and he would go to Palm Beach and pick all of his legal buddies from the bar to be on the Supreme Court. And what happened was, I think that the true conservatives, even people that I respect and admire, like Rubio, and you had like Jeb Bush and people people that were in the mainstream of the party, they were like, ooh, icky poo, we can't do this. The true conservatives were like, look, this is about a republic. This is about the unborn. This is about the Constitution. Look, the guy's not tidy, but he's solid with us. And so we went to the dance with the president. And once we got there, he said, you know what? These guys came to the dance with us, so I'm going to surround myself with them. Wow. And so you have solid people all around the president. And I was stunned. I had no idea he'd picked Mike Pence, had no idea he'd issued such a solid list for the Supreme Court. And those two things alone radically changed my mind. He did not behave like a rhino. He did not behave like a liberal. He behaved like a conservative in many parts, the most important parts. And so that won me over. And we have to understand, our vote is not like some kind of Valentine where we're expressing our love for somebody, right? It's a strategic move on what kind of society and what kind of a civilization we want to have for the future. And people need to understand that this is not about personality. It's not about whether you like somebody. It's about looking at the strategic worldview shift, because it's a radical contrast between a worldview that respects the law, respects our country, is proud to be an American, or a worldview that says America is some racist, homophobic, whatever. It needs to be radically changed and disassembled. So the choice is very, very clear. And it's not about the personality. It's about the principles behind those personalities.
Wow.
Those are great points. He's got the same viewpoint I did about Ted Cruz. I was all behind, and I said, and he's going to be a rhino.
I don't think any of us were like, hey, yeah, Donald Trump, he makes the most sense.
No.
John, let me ask you a question. When we look at the Jewish community within Florida, it's a significant.
Well, hang on 1 second.
Sure.
Susie Gold here. You haven't met her.
Susie Gold. I'm sorry. Hi.
She's my co-host. She's an observant Jew, and we brought the Jewish and Christian community together in South Florida. So. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Susie.
so I just wanted to ask you, there are about 700,000 Jews in Florida, not a large number, certainly not as many as Christians, but however, Jews have traditionally always voted, and we're a significant block because usually we voted the same, like we voted in cohesion with one another, and that has changed. However, Jews still vote. And so I know that you had mentioned the Christian community and reaching out to the Christian community. What message do you have to the Jewish community to reiterate and to reinforce actually the importance of voting and voting with their conscience in terms of voting with the Republican Party as, how would you explain that to them?
I don't think it's much different than the way Catholics respond. And my message to all people of faith would be very simply, vote your values, vote the values of your faith. Don't view your faith as some merely cultural construct. View it as the essence of why you live, right? And so that should be the fundamental thing that informs your voting. It should be the fundamental thing that informs your life. And what are the values? What is right and wrong? I mean, all those things are very, very important, not as it relates to a person and how a person behaves, but it relates to the structure of society. Ultimately, politics is about policy, right? That's what it's about. It's not about your personality, whether we like somebody or don't like them, whether it's collegial or not. The issue is, is dad going to have a job or not, right? Are unborn children going to be slaughtered in their mother's womb, or are we going to oppose that? Right? These are important things. Are the Constitution going to be respected and our liberties going to be protected, or are we just going to have them trampled over by this soft totalitarianism that we're seeing everywhere? Those are the issues that should define our faith and our vote. And so I would just ask Jewish people, both observant, conservative, and mainstream Jewish people, to simply return to the values of your faith and cast your vote in light of that framework.
I mean,
good advice. That's good advice. And in fact, that is what Jexit does. Jews exiting the Democrat Party. They basically say, look, we share in the Judeo-Christian worldview, the principles in the Hebrew scriptures, the New Testament. We have common values. And if we do that, then we bring the Catholic community in, the Protestant community, and the Jewish community, and we have our own identity group. We have our own identity group, right? And the left doesn't want that
and
identity
there's
group
tremendous
moving.
power to all of us by working in unity. We have this. We have similar values. We respond. We have the Bible that we live by. So we have more in common than not, and it's a natural connection that all of us have.
That's very cool. Mark, you got something?
Yeah, I got one question for you. What's on your shirt?
So this is Ronald Reagan's basically his library. I visited it.
Oh,
I'm going to a Trump rally today in Ocala, so I wanted to be red, white, and blue.
Oh, you'll see the Jackson girls there.
Our Jackson girls are going to be there. You're going to go say hi to them.
Well,
great.
Yeah, the Jexit movement, Jews exiting the Democrat Party, that originated down here in Broward, and we sent covering. We have press credentials. We're part of the White House press pool through our radio show, so we have 4 of the craziest ladies you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing women. They're going to be in the press corral. So if you can make your way over to the press corral and find and we'll send them a picture of you. Go say hello to our Jexit media team.
West and watch the video.
Do what?
Come pull to the United West. Watch the video.
Yeah. You can see them there.
How's Rivka doing, by the way?
But we were, Give us a quick update.
So Rivka's doing great. I had the extraordinary privilege this summer of marrying her to a gentleman who I personally vetted from Texas. She met him, and so while she was waiting to be a part of law school, she's in her 2nd year of law school in Texas, and she is clerking for different firms right now. And so I was very excited to have the honor of actually walking her down the aisle to stand in as her father. It was an extraordinary honor, Tom, given all that's happened. And she's become like an adopted daughter since. She's so honored me, since the lights and the media has died down. Probably not a week or a month goes by where we're not chatting. She's asking me questions. I'm helping her think through decisions of life just as a father would. And so it was a great opportunity to help her through this point of her life. So.
Wow. Give her our love, obviously. And for our audience at 9:46 in the morning, Tom Trento, your host, Susie Gold here. WNN 1470, 95.3. 11 years ago, Rivka Barry, a teenager, escaped from Columbus, Ohio, in a Muslim home where she converted to Christianity. That was dishonoring the family. There was a threat for her life. She escaped to Florida and stood and found her way with Blake and Beverly Lorenz, good friends of ours. They took her under protection, and he's all over the media. Then they needed a lawyer. John steps in and didn't know what hit him. He's all over international media going, what is going on? And John stood with her. It was a whole team of us to the point where she was emancipated. We were at the hearing in Columbus when she was emancipated at 18. And then he's been her surrogate father through all these years. That's tremendous.
One of the things sometimes in this line of work, you get down, you get depressed or whatever, is I always think back about Rivka says, that's why we do
that. Alone was
that
worth
alone
the
is worth everything.
What we've done.
It was. And guys, here's the thing. It's not just a victory then. She continues to speak literally around the world. I've got her set up on a speaking circuit.
Excellent.
So she will go and address crowds. Her book, Hiding in the Light, still selling over and over again, even after all these years, still selling and still being purchased. And they told us that it's being downloaded way more times electronically than it is being purchased. You can purchase the book. We believe Muslims all over the world
absolutely
quietly to her story and are being converted all over the world.
That's exactly what that is. Hey, John, we're going to let you go, but we need 30 seconds from you, an appeal for the evangelicals to get out on November 3rd.
I would say this: the barbarians are no longer at the gate. They have literally smashed the gate. They're spiritually in our homes, spiritually raping our sons and daughters. This is a desperate time, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, the streets are burning. There's social disorder. We have to vote for the bodyguard, right? He stands between us and the bullies, which literally want to destroy us. And so it just couldn't be more plain. And I understand people that have reservations over personal moral issues and how somebody carries themselves, but there are bigger issues here than those. And we need to see this from the very significant situation of what kind of a republic are we going to have? Are we even going to have a civilization? Are we going to have a society where there's just intense social disorder and everybody's violating the law and doing whatever they want to do? We need to vote for law and order. We need to vote for the rule of law. We need to vote for common sense.
John, we got
All right,
we have these
Yeah.
billboards down here. We want to get in contact with you to shoot some ideas past you, see what you can come up with. For
Yeah. All right.
advertising.
We'll do.
We'll do that. John, thanks. On that note, we're going to let you go. And whatever you need, we're down here. We'll be in touch. John Stemberger, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good.
Great to
tremendous
meet
work
you,
out there.
John. Great work.
All right. It's
John.
9:49 in the morning. The hour's flying by.
Yeah.
They always do.
Wow.
On Lawyer Day.
Lawyer Day.
On Lawyer Day.
Smart lawyers.
That was a nice appeal at the end
Mhm.
to hit both sides, wherever you are. If you don't like the guy, bodyguard. What a great
I love
metaphor.
that. Mhm.
We got to get
Vote
He
Rivka on.
is our
We got to get
bodyguard.
Rivka on there.
I
Yeah.
think she's playing it low on the down low. Well, she's speaking.
She
but
said she's the promoter book.
probably, we can probably get
But
it.
Donald J. Trump, I love what he said. He is our bodyguard.
That's a perfect metaphor.
Yeah, and we may not like his tweets and whatever. That's irrelevant. We got to look at the big picture.
You got
here.
these big bodyguards. They're smelly, some of them. They got tattoos. They got
Yeah.
earrings. But they're there for a
And
reason.
did
take
you
offense to
see
that,
Donald J. Trump last night when during the town hall meeting, he sat with such composure. He sat in the same position
Isn't
the
that great?
entire time. It was a position of strength, a position of power, a position who has it in control. And you know what I always say? I say, if I'm going to choose a surgeon to do surgery on me, I don't care about their personality. I don't care if they're egomaniacs. I don't care. I care that they be the best surgeon in the world. That's what I care about. And that's how I feel about Trump, is that I don't care about his personality. I don't care about his past. I don't care. He's a fighter, and he's fighting for every American. And he doesn't have to do this. He's doing this to save America. And that's what everybody needs
He
to
loves
keep in
America.
mind.
Great
That's
point,
that's the essence.
Mhm.
That's in his soul. That's in his heart. And
Mhm.
he can't articulate that as well as he
Mhm.
should. He
Yeah.
can't articulate his relationship with
Mhm.
God as well as he should.
Mhm.
But it's there. If you don't come with Trump derangement syndrome, if you look at this guy and look inside, you see an American patriot bodyguard. All right, we got something coming up this Sunday. I think we're all going to it. The Israelis are going to be getting together in Miami. There's a huge Israeli
Oh, yeah.
population. People are born in Israel and they're in the United States for one reason or the other. Many of them down in Miami. A big car parade
Mhm.
where I think
And I think
Biden
motorcycles.
motorcycles. Biden had
Mhm.
15 cars. I think there's going to be 16 cars this Sunday at the big event that's down in Miami. I'll tell you the name of it in a minute. But guess who is one of the featured speakers?
Who's one of
Who?
the features?
The national spokesperson for we can't. I mean, the Arjexa team is trying to have me call them live. I guess I can call you
Yeah,
on the
that's
phone.
Well, I can put them. Yeah,
Funny.
but I'd have to put it on a speaker here.
Can you get it there?
Yeah, call
well, you
them.
can have them call me.
Call Mark, and we'll try to
Here's
get you on the air.
Event. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of tiny.
The event is the Israeli. Cancel that. Do this Trump event. Israelis for Trump. 10 a.m. at the. It's going to be at the
Mark put it up.
Deezerland Park, if you're looking at it, Deezerland Park in North Miami. Contact us if you want to go. There's going to be thousands of cars. We're going to be going there. And it's big rally headed up by Israelis. And Siggy Flicker is going to be one of the main
Oh,
speakers. So
great.
Cool.
if they're calling Mark, we got a couple of minutes left. We'll get him on. And I'm sure this is going to be just a sane, calm conversation,
Noise is.
as they
Listeners, you don't want to miss this.
I got it.
Are they calling? All right. So anyway, 9:53. Lawyer Day, Susie. What do you think?
Yeah,
Good
here we
week
are.
had, huh?
Friday, great week. And it doesn't stop for us. Like here we are, we're going into Sunday and we're going to go to this event and making sure that that we support all of everything that's
All right,
going
here
on.
we
This
go.
is
Susie.
grassroots.
Susie, breaking news. We have
Breaking news.
our media team, our Jexit media team. Here we go.
You get your Jackson.
You're on the air, Jexit.
You're on the air.
Hi, Tom. Good morning.
Siggy, how you doing?
Morning,
Hello, everybody.
Siggy.
We're on the road, on the way to Ocala. Tom, our great president. Good morning, Charlie. We can't hear you.
I got it.
You got to talk to them. They can't hear me.
Charlie.
Go ahead. Can you hear them?
I hear them. Yeah, I hear them.
All right.
We can't hear it.
Yeah. Well, it's technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not set up for calls.
We're
I
not
should
set
have
up for
called her
calls.
from here. I should have called her
We're
from
trying
here.
something new.
But we just got off the phone with our very prominent attorney who's going to be there. And we told him to go look for you guys. And if you can connect, he'll probably, he has the capability to get you introduced to the president. So we'll try to put that
wait,
together.
Tom, excuse me. Am I on? Is this live or not?
Yeah, you're live.
No,
You're live. You're live.
Okay. Tom,
Yes.
first off, I would like to say hello. And I almost had a heart attack and had to roll the car off the road. I'm very, very sorry. And Tom, you got to start doing phone calls because we would love to call in like every morning, just like to talk to you. Knowledge there.
We just need like $75,000.
Just yeah, he's laughing.
We need technology.
Are you talking about Peter?
No, John Stemberger.
John Stemberger. John
yeah, tell him.
Stemberger is if he was on earlier, and he knows he might be able to get you in to see the president. So that's
Okay.
he's got
That would be good. If you could hear me through the radio, if you saw the hookup we have now, Mark's got a phone, duct tape, headsets. We're not set up to take calls. Part of the reason is we got a 54-minute show.
I have my faith in Mark. He will have you set up within 24 hours.
Yeah, yep. He's working his magic,
Yeah.
but we need money. We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
lots of
yeah.
money.
So
Don't miss it. Siggy's speaking at the Israelis for Trump rally.
yes, we
Sunday,
announced
we're
it.
going down, and then we're going to caravan to Mar-a-Lago.
All right, we'll be part of it.
Because it's going to go like this. Shalom. אני רוצה להגיד שלום לכל אחד שבא. So, unless you understand Hebrew, only kidding.
All right. Look, you guys drive safely. Report back when you're up there. Cover everything for us, and we'll do a report on Monday.
Yeah,
All right,
safe
well, we'll see you
travels,
Sunday.
ladies. We'll see you Sunday.
Have a great show.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have fun. They're great.
Well, that
Aren't
went
they
about as well as
great?
expected.
Mark, you want to work on?
That went about as well as expected.
Yeah, I actually would have been better here because I can do this. That worked.
Yeah,
But
can't-
anyway,
they can't hear. All right.
But look at how we
you
have
want
to
to work on
operate.
having them call in every day? Can you put that together?
I'll get right on that.
Yeah, we need the funds so that we can be a little bit more
If we had 2
sophisticated here.
hours, then we can do a little.
2
call and all
hours,
that.
we could do a lot.
It's
Yeah,
tough
we
with an hour.
couldn't take calls just in an hour, but we do need money. We need $75,000, Tom, to
That's
get
the
us
figure,
through
yeah.
to the end of this. That's just through to the end of the year, because after the election, we're going to have a lot to deal with also, no matter which way it goes. We got Marxists here, and they want to destroy us from the inside out. Along
we
with
have 50, 60,000 people on our mail
Mhm.
list. We're
Mhm.
speaking to tens of thousands
Mhm.
of people. If everybody just gave a little bit, you know?
yeah, and some that might give
Just
a lot of
little
it.
bit.
Give a little bit, give a lot of bit, give what you can. But together, we can make this happen, because we're far reaching. We have a great impact, and we need to continue doing that. So we need the
How do they
money.
give?
So go on theunitedwest.org, and you will see a button there that says donate. If you would like to donate a larger sum of money, call Tom directly. You can get that number right on the site.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a wonderful
Have a
weekend,
great
safe weekend, and we'll see you
Tune in
Monday.
on Monday.
All right. Sounds good. Great shows next week, too.